Hello, I'm PS3 and welcome back to the video. Today we're going to go through the top 5 most boring features in Minecraft Survival. The reason I figured I'd do this is because although a lot of Minecraft features can seem kind of boring on the surface, truth be told, there's ways to enjoy most of them. However, when it comes to these 5, they're all ones that I just hate regardless of the context and that I just try and avoid at all costs. So today I'll be showing you not only what they are, but I'll be letting you know how you can avoid them so you can avoid being bored in Minecraft. So hopefully you all do enjoy today's video. Hopefully you're not bored, but But with that said, if you do like the video, like and let me know because it does help out the channel and lets know you do like these sorts of Minecraft videos. But with that said, let's get straight into it, shall we? And let's start by talking about the 5th most boring feature, which, I mean, you probably will guess because it's already in my inventory, which is the fishing rod. And this is something you'll rarely see in my inventory when I'm playing survival, because the thing about the fishing, fishing system in general, is it's really dull in Minecraft. Because even though they made it more exciting with the 1.7 update, or TU31 for consoles, the actual fishing mechanics are so dull. Because what you do is you left trigger or you right click and you put your fishing thing in the water, and then guess what? You wait. That's right, you wait, and then maybe some bubbles come towards you. It'd be nice if there was some skill involved, and although there's skill outside of the fishing system, the actual, thing itself is just wait here, when bubbles get there, left trigger at the right moment, and then you get something, which that something can be exciting, like sometimes you get pufferfish, you get cool items from doing this, but the actual mechanics itself are so dull, because, I'm someone who likes to jump around, move around, do stuff a lot. You've noticed if you've ever seen me play Minecraft, or even just do any videos before, but the thing is, just when you're fishing, it's so dull and boring because you just sit here. You do nothing. If you want, you can move around your inventory, but then you can't actually see what's going on. So if you do that, you can just about do it. But yeah, basically you can rearrange your inventory if you want to. Oh, how exciting. Or you can stare at the scenery. But these aren't things I usually do. I think fishing in real life would probably be just as boring to me. But still, the fact that you have to do this in Minecraft if you want to tame ocelots, which I've been trying to do recently, if you want to do a whole bunch of things, you need to, actually be involved in this. And to me, that's just so ridiculous. Also, we got salmon twice. That's so lucky. Also lucky, I guess you'd say. And yeah, basically, I think fishing is one of the most boring things in the game because you have to do it to get certain things done, and there's no skill, there's no anything to it. It's just sit here and wait. And yeah, before I leave this one, I do want to quickly mention there are technically automatic fishers where you just hold down the left trigger and then leave for a few hours, but these are complex with redstone and require so many fishing rods as opposed to, this system where, 3 salmon in a row, as opposed to this system where, you waste a little bit less time fishing rods, but you lose all your, boringness. So yeah, if you want to get this done, I'd recommend just try and live a world without fish. Honestly, you don't ever need to eat fish. It's a terrible food source, compared to the time put in. You could go just hunt down a cow or a pig or something. So fishing is never really necessary unless you really need a saddle or a name tag. And at that point, maybe you don't need a saddle. Maybe you should just decide, I'd rather keep my sanity. And if that's the case, I wouldn't blame you. So yeah, first thing, the 5th most boring thing has got to be fishing. It's just so dull, right? Anyway, that said, let's move on to the 4th thing that I think is rather dull, and involves us crossing the river over here. I mean, we could fish while we do this, and not too much excitement to the whole process, right? But yeah, the 4th most boring thing in Minecraft to me is wheat farming. So the reason I say wheat farming and not any other type of farm is because, again, most other types of farms you can kind of get into a rhythm of, you can find it fun in certain ways, but wheat farming is so ridiculous to me because you just go through your farm, you destroy all the ones that are yellowed enough, which is kind of tricky to tell by itself, but yeah, you go through and you destroy most of the fully yellowed crops. Then you can't just go around and replant them. You have to take the second item you got, the seeds, and you go around and you just do the opposite of what you just did, and it's like, oh yeah, this was kind of fun, but now I'm doing this. And if you have a massive wheat farm like I do, because you need to use wheat for food, because again, no animals seem to spawn around here, this is just one of the most boring ways of doing it, because it's just a necessary thing that, you're not deciding when to farm the wheat farm. You're like, oh, I guess I kind of need hay bales, or I need, bread or stuff, so you just have to come here, you have to craft the food like this, and there's just something so dull and boring about the whole process. When you compare it to carrots, where you just put them in there, take them out, or potatoes, where you put them in the ground, and then you have to smelt them, but it's still kind of fine. Bread is just a pretty low standard food, like it gives you only 2.5 things of hunger, and the saturation is amazing. Then there's the fact that you get all these seeds you have to deal with. Like I have just a chest full of seeds, because even though they're worthless, they feel like they're not entirely worthless, and you just end up with all of this. And yeah, basically I think wheat farming is just the worst type of farm. I don't know how you'd make it more exciting, maybe by like having rare things pop up, or I don't know, just something about the whole process is just really dull to me, and I can never even farm the entire thing because I'm just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm just bored. Can we just stop playing Minecraft and stare at the wall or something? Because that's how I feel sometimes. Anyway, with that said, the next thing I want to move on to is related to this chest thing, because when you have a big chest full of just garbage, or an inventory full of garbage, like I have all the time, you'll notice how I never seem to fix it because I hate the process of moving stuff around. So yeah, Minecraft to me is a game about like going out and doing stuff, and the whole inventory rearrangement thing is something that I find tricky and also just incredibly dull. So here I only have 3 chests, bear in mind, and my inventory, and trying to work out what goes where is just such a nightmare-filled process, because right now this is just clutter, right? It's cluttered everywhere. This is cluttered everywhere. So you can see how the dirt in this one is kind of towards the bottom, and there's some iron and some gold there, but besides that, there's no real pattern to this entire thing. So when you want to decide to move around, you're like, okay, I'm gonna get this done. Then you're like, okay, so I'll try and put my dirt in one place, and basically it's just a really long process that doesn't really achieve anything, because chests kind of naturally, when you throw items in and out, kind of just make themselves less, I guess dirty is not the term, but more and more less organized, I guess it is. And yeah, basically the problem with that is you just end up with just a big cluttered chest that takes ages of like focusing and putting effort into making it look better, just so you can find stuff. And to me, I've never liked that process, so I just dump everything into a chest. When that chest's full, I find another one, and then the process gets so much worse. But I'd rather do this than end up in the situation where I've got like 50 chests full of each individual thing, because yeah, just storing stuff in Minecraft is really really dull in my opinion, because you have 36 slots, there's something like 200 separate items, and a lot of the time you need more than a few of each item. So you might need to have like several stacks of raw salmon because you're taming like 12 ocelots, or you might want to have like 12 stacks of smooth sandstone because you're working on a giant toy cat statue. Oh, we can't see it from here, but yeah, you might want to have those stuff because you're working on it, but that means you need to have properly stored stuff, and I just hate the whole process. So yeah, the system I like to use is just chests on chests on chests, but then it gets even worse and even less desirable. And yeah, basically if it was my choice, survival would be kind of like creative, and that you can just pick any block from the creative menu, but it would be from the blocks you destroy in survival. The Pocket Edition actually used to work like that for a while, and I used to think it was such a good system, and I'm just saying, less inventory management equals more better. So yeah, with that said, that is the third most boring feature of Minecraft in my opinion. Like, why do we need to, why can't we have bigger inventories? I mean, you can have an ender chest to double it, sort of. Why isn't there a way you can just be like, okay, I'm gonna use like 4 salmon and 12 leather to craft myself a backpack. Don't ask why the backpack's made of salmon. I just wish there was a way to do that, but there still is not in Minecraft. You have to deal with the inventory, and that's one of the banes of my life, honestly. So yeah, with that said, don't know how I just set on fire. Let's go to sleep, shall we? So we can move on to the second... actually, you know what? Let's go outside and die. So we can move on to the second most boring Minecraft task for me. And this is one that's kind of boring because it's so frustrating. And you... Oh, wait. Okay, wait. We're not dying anymore. It's kind of boring because it's mostly just frustrating to me. Because basically, whenever you're looking for one particular mob, that mob will never seem to spawn. And if you're looking for squid because you want grey dye, you're looking for enderman because you need ender pearls, like I've needed in speedruns so often, they never seem to show up. It's one of those weird, like, rules of how humans do psychology and stuff. But basically, the thing that makes this really annoying is if you're doing a speedrun and you need to get to the end, you will never find endermen, and it just means like, I need these ender pearls, and they're not going to happen. Plus, when you do find the mobs, so this is looking for any mob, whether it's creepers, it could be zombies if you want raw flesh, it could be skeletons if you want arrow, any mob that you have to go out and look for, you never seem to find them, and when you do find them, most of those mobs have 0 to 2 drop rates. So if you're trying to find cows to get liver, if you're trying to find squid, most things have a chance of dropping 0 off their... Did you see that spider appearing to spit? They have a chance of just spawning 0 off their given drop. So we do find an enderman at some point. I don't actually see one right now. Then he might just drop 0 ender pearls. And that is the most frustrating thing, because you go through all this effort of just running around in what is essentially circles. Because the way it's best to actually look for something is just circle, circle, circle again. Which, again, really counterintuitive, really frustrating. But it's what you gotta do. Okay, there's an enderman. And then when you finally do find one, you're like, yes, this is my whole, like, last 6 minutes worth of work. And then there's a chance he won't even drop an ender pearl. Or won't even drop leather. Or squid insect. Or whatever. Or, in this case, just teleported away and won't come back for some reason. Where did he go? Okay, let's try with creepers. So you really need gunpowder because you've got a big, TNT thing coming up. And then you finally kill a creeper. You get 1 gunpowder rather than 2. Or you get 0 rather than any. And it's like, oh, this is just the most frustrating thing ever. And this is why I hate searching for mobs. If I'm doing anything with mobs, I like to look for lots at the same time. So I like to kill skeletons and creepers and endermen. So I get TNT, arrows, and stuff. Because if you go after one at a time, you get frustrating moments like that, where he just teleported away. He didn't come back or anything. Just, oh, he's gone now. Okay, if you wanted ender pearls, then bad luck to you. And that, to me, that is the most frustrating thing in the world. So yeah, that is the 4th most frustrating thing in Minecraft, I would have to say it is looking for mobs, looking for any mob, really. However, one thing that I'd say is kind of building on this, and it's the most boring thing to me, is when you... Oh, can't rest now, monsters nearby, apparently. You know what, let's just take our bed with us, because this is what you do when monsters stop you from sleeping. You just move house. Works in the real world too, like, scared of monsters under bed. Why not just try moving house entirely? But yeah, oh, there's a zombie just over here. So we've killed this zombie, and we get to bed, because let's say the whole night passes. I could just wait here while the whole night passes, or... Also, jeez, we could just wait here, or I could go to sleep so I can actually show this. Because if you, let's say the whole night's passed, we looked for Enderman, we found no Enderman tonight, and we're like, okay, better luck tomorrow, right? Well, the thing about Minecraft is you can only sleep through nights. You can only skip from night to day. You can't skip from day to night in survival. And why is this so frustrating? Well, if you need any nighttime-based mobs, like, say, the Creeper, or like, say, zombies, or like, say, any hostile mob, really, if you want to find them, they only spawn at least during the nighttime. So if you want to sleep from day to night because you want to go find some more of them, guess what? You can't do that. And this is the most single frustrating thing in Minecraft, because if you are at the point where you're like, oh, so, I need to go find Enderman stuff, what you just have to do is be like, well, I'm going to wait for 10 minutes in the day. And this the only way I can really think of avoiding this is just doing other stuff. Whenever I'm doing one of those speed runs, I'll just be like, well, I guess we'll go and enchant a sword, or, work on stuff that we might as well do, because otherwise you're just sat there doing absolutely nothing, and it's the most frustrating thing in the world. Admittedly, for creepers and witches and the mobs that don't burn, you can go around, you can try and find stragglers, and even then it's like kind of super rare. But if you're looking for Enderman, for instance, you go underground or you do nothing. And that is why waiting till night is the most frustrating thing, because if you need it to be night, you can't make it happen. You just have to kind of wait, and it naturally happens eventually 12 minutes later. So yeah, waiting 12 minutes just for the day to turn to night is probably the most boring thing in Minecraft. And yeah, I hope you did all enjoy today's video. Let me know what your 5 personal most boring things are in Minecraft, because I hate these things. Maybe you hate something else. But anyway, for now, let's go fishing while that witch chases us. And I guess like if you liked it, share if you really liked it, subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll see you all in the next video. That witch is pretty angry. Goodbye.